Is Mortal Kombat 2 really gonna follow the same premise as the first one? Are they going to repeat the story? The trailer released yesterday has sparked a flurry of comments. I'll discuss it further after the intro, so stay tuned. Hello, Pop Culture Society. We're back. Let's talk about Mortal Kombat. There was a trailer for Mortal Kombat 2. It confirmed some things but left some doubts. For example, we knew that Johnny Cage would be the star of the movie. He would be the main guy in the movie. Since the first posters came out, we've been seeing that Johnny Cage he's the most famous actor known for playing urban roles, right? The guy who's already in a bunch of franchises, from Lord of the Rings to Marvel, even Judge Dredd, The Boys. So man, we knew like the meta language of Johnny Cage's career. Johnny Cage was created as a mirror of Van Damme, right? Of the action and martial arts actor who, in this case, is going to take part in a tournament. Well, not a tournament, that's a bit much. A deadly challenge to save the universe called Mortal Kombat. And then the trailer came out. The trailer confirmed some things I already suspected. Basically, it's Johnny Cage the movie. There's Kombat swearing, cracking jokes, making fun of everything, thinking it's all absurd. And at the beginning, it shows that his career is already in decline, that the guy is already discredited, that he's depressed, all that stuff. And then he's called to join the combat, where he gets the chance to prove himself, to prove that he's still the man. After watching the trailer, my initial reaction, which I shared in a reaction video yesterday, was that it's the same story as the first movie. In the original film, Kao Yan, fighter, who's also going through a tough time in his life, he's discredited, he's disillusioned. Then he's called for this challenge, for this tournament, then he trains, discovers powers and all that. And Mortal Kombat is about to start, but then that's left for the movie, right? There's no Mortal Kombat. The money wasn't enough. We know that this first Mortal Kombat was made with a very limited budget because the producers didn't want to give up on the Fatality. Well, they had the idea, let's make a Mortal Kombat movie. Here's the script. Then the people at Warner Brothers, right? Now it's Warner Discovery, said, okay, but let's make it parental guidance 13 because video games are for kids. And then the producers said parental guidance 13. Damn, right? Fatality. They used Mortal Kombat logic. It was a fatality. There's no fun in that. Then the people from Warner said like this, all right, you can make it rated R, but look, half the budget. They agreed to make a low-budget movie with unknown actors. With several former stuntmen, it eventually worked out, but was released during the pandemic. So the theatrical release happened in an environment where most of the theaters were closed. Most of the audience feared entering the crowded theater due to concerns about air circulation. Right in the middle of the COVID pandemic and the theaters that were open, they were at half capacity with a very reduced capacity. So the box office was temporary, and besides, it was released on the same day as the premiere on Home Box Office Max, and many watched it at home. At home, you don't have the same immersion as in the theater where you are the screen. When watching at home, distractions like phone calls, messages, and family needs can interrupt your experience. Your kid asks for food. It gets in the way, it's not the same thing. And then the movie didn't have the impact it should have. And maybe the shortened script, the fact that the budget was low. So this new character, Koyang, who really didn't click with the crowd, ended up being kind of unnecessary. For what? Especially now that Johnny Cage is coming. Why didn't they put Johnny Cage in the first movie? I have a feeling they were already thinking of a big name actor to play Johnny Cage. It wasn't possible back then. And now we have two. There's Kuyang. He appears in a frame for a split second in the trailer, which means he won't have any major role in this movie. I don't think he will. Maybe he even dies, which would be really messed up. Right, the guy worked really hard in the other movie, got his powers, fought against Goro, and now he's gonna die from a fatality in the first scene. They don't need him anymore because he failed to connect with the audience. No, let's focus on the characters that the people who play the game know, right? Not a new one since he was a new character. We were by his side as he discovered the world of Mortal Kombat and its characters. We discovered it together with him. I understand that. But the crazy thing is that Johnny Cage is going to do the same thing. Johnny Cage is also going to go in there. He will revisit everything, reunite with all the characters, and become us once more. It's the same premise. It might not be the same movie because this time there's Mortal Kombat, I hope. But it's the same premise. The guy, a disillusioned outsider with no will of his own, who gets pushed into this tournament, and there he discovers himself as a hero, the hero's journey, fast track. So, is it really going to be the same story? They said, now that we have money, because the second movie made more money, the second movie got a much better setting to work with and more money. I don't know if it's enough yet, because there are some things in the movie that are kind of weird, but it's better, there's more money, they even hired Carl Urban. What's going to happen with this Mortal Kombat? Because it's the same story, right? But also the Mortal Kombat video games have the same story. And someone asked me, why call it 2 then? Why didn't they come up with another name, Mortal Kombat? No, Annihilation already exists. Why didn't they come up with another name? I just hit here and the dog thought someone was coming. Why didn't they come up with another name? Then you have to say it like you paused. Why didn't they come up with another name? Street Fighter 2 didn't come up with another name? Street Fighter 2, never mind the first one. Same thing. Anyway, now there's going to be Mortal Kombat 2. It's happening now for real. That's basically it. They did what should have been Mortal Kombat 1. In those circumstances, it wasn't possible, but now it is. So let's do what we wanted to do in the first one, in the second. Maybe that's the idea behind this Mortal Kombat, which makes the transition that Mortal Kombat made in the video game. The first Mortal Kombat video game was an alternative game. It was almost an indie game. It was experimental. It was for a niche audience. It had those references to B Kung Fu movies from the 70s. But it was so successful, and especially so successful with the kids, that they had to tone down Mortal Kombat to be able to sell it. And then they added bability, animality, friendship. And the characters started getting more exotic, and it became what it is today. Even Johnny Cage wasn't a complete joke at first. Of the movie star. In the first Mortal Kombat, he had sunglasses, was cocky, but that was it. Later on, it turned into this craziness. I think cinema is going through the same transition. It's going to become a more pop Mortal Kombat. The new Mortal Kombat movie seems to be more commercial than the first one. Carl Urban's lines and the story presentation in the trailer contribute to that impression. What did you think of the Mortal Kombat trailer? Share your thoughts below. I'll be back with more pop culture topics soon. After the event, click on the channel options to stay a bit longer. See you later. That concludes another episode of Cuatro Coisas. We have at least 3 daily videos Monday through Sunday. If you liked it, check out these other suggestions. Please like, comment, subscribe, and enable notifications for updates. Thanks for watching. See you next time.